How your day looking like today? After all of this question.
I got 2 bookings in the studio, which I'm kind of bugging because this client comes in at 2 o'clock. My phone about to die. They're gonna call me in.
You want to charge your phone?
Yeah, if I can, that'll be later.
You got the charger? Or
Can I borrow one?
Pass my book back.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah, it is the right phone, but I got a.
Do you have somebody there that'll let the client in for you?
So what it is, I have it remotely to my phone. I could just open it from my phone. How long are we recording for?
Like an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah.
So you, I mean, now by 2 o'clock,
Yeah, I'll
be good.
You'd be good.
Oh, cool. Rare you can use an outlet right here.
You don't usually go that crazy. Well, that first episode of this season, remember? That shit went mad long because of Rudy Lowe, remember?
That was a good episode,
Yeah,
bro.
it was.
I want to have Rudy Lowe come back on. I'm serious. He's like my favorite guy.
Yeah, he goes
Rudy
there.
Lowe's fucking awesome.
This is like $200 DVDs I got right here. Very rare DVDs I got right here.
I remember, he got the Serbian forbidden film. I remember going to his crib. He had like some forbidden films. Sorry, go ahead.
See, look at these. Nico's house tours. This is like very rare that
Some babe shit that niggas never seen his crib.
Okay,
not
so
only on TV.
I'm gonna start it off.
Yeah.
What they usually? Oh, okay.
Sunday.
It's Sunday. Como vai? Welcome to the sUpEr. It is I, Polo Parata. I am back. Hey, GK.
Hey.
And I wanted to make an announcement because I didn't do it last episode. But I know you see Don D here again. How you doing, sir?
What's up, man?
For the 3rd episode. So it's official now. He will be here every Sunday he can make it.
Hey.
So you're not a guest anymore.
I guess not.
you're
So
one
does
of...
that mean I could take a weekend off?
Yeah.
Nice.
You really need to. We can rotate.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sounds good.
So congratulations.
So that we can kick him off the show sometimes. Give him a couple of days off. And we just
Listen.
have some strippers dancing in the background.
Listen, that'll be a hard task since I control everything with an iron fist. But anyway, we do have a guest. Do you want to say who it is? Because it's your homie.
The one and only Mr. Qvest, Jawney Qvest,
Yes,
Qvest
sir.
Productions.
Middle the building. Appreciate y'all
Quest
having
of
me.
all.
How you doing, sir? Thank you for coming. Because we've actually had a lot of people calling out. You know what I'm saying? They literally tell us they're going to come and they don't show up. I'm not going to say no names. I don't want to start in trouble. But you know who you are.
Don't worry. They gonna be back once they
Oh,
see
yeah,
the show
yeah,
start
yeah.
popping. They
You
go,
know
yo,
how it
bro,
is.
like I'm still good. Like, nah.
Bro, I've been doing... I've done over 100 podcasts. And like you said, it's kind of like they have to see it for themselves. Like, oh, shit. Like, they're actually doing something. And then you get the call back like, yo, you know, we're going to do this.
Cool.
Nah,
You know what I'm
they
saying?
couldn't see the vision from the jump. It wasn't meant to be.
Listen, it's hard for people to see your vision. But I mean, even with stuff, with stuff you do, like, what exactly, do you do and stuff like that?
I'm a man with my hands in a lot. Try to stay busy, but I guess I would say I got my start in music video production maybe about 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
I was rolling with this kid. I'll leave him nameless, not important. But I was doing a lot of his music videos,
Right.
bouncing around doing the label stuff, tours, whatnot. After we split, kind of fell into like just freelancing a lot of work between commercials, short form docs,
Yeah.
more music videos. Music videos has kind of been my bread and butter for like the last almost 10 years. And then from there, maybe about 4 years ago, I fell into television and film production. So I've been doing mostly like grip work. So for those of you who don't know, a grip is somebody who does mostly camera support for TV shows, movies, or like build sets, rig stages. So that's like my 9-to-5 day job. And then for 58th and Fair, which is the parent company, that's between my younger brother and I. That is the hub, which everything else that we're trying to do falls under. So like you may see a few of these items here on the table.
Yeah. The bag and
we only brought the bag and the ashtray today, but there's a lot more to come.
Right.
I would say we're trying to maybe get into the vein of like a lifestyle brand, kind of very
Well, you got the shirt on. The shirt is fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget the shirt.
It's a
Okay,
shirt too.
nice.
So my
That's
younger
nice.
brother is kind of the mastermind behind a lot of the products that you guys will see coming out from the brand.
The branding.
Yeah, he does the 3D printing, graphic design, art direction. Like, that man is the man of many talents. So, like, I handle most of the behind the camera, film production end. He's the graphics. You know, now I'm into, like, building a lot of stuff like carpentry, woodwork. So we built, like, a table recently.
Right.
It's hard to, that's what I'm saying. When people ask me what do I do, it's kind of hard to, like, put it in a box.
You're a jack of all trades.
Exactly.
So it's like you do a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, and I'd rather keep it, X out the middleman. Like, if you could come, what the selling point of, like, what we do is just like, all right, you can cut out the middleman. There's no, let's say you do need a music video production. You're not going to find a director, a cinematographer, a grip, crew. Like, you're going to one place and you're getting a production from start to finish, like, until it's post color graded and sent out. So that's something I feel like helps us stand apart from other companies that are on the come up, as well as we also have a studio space located in the Bushwick area. So it's like 1,000 square foot psych wall. So again, it's just like, it's more inclusive. Like, you have somebody that can provide the services as well as provide the space.
So who are some of the clients that you've had under your belt? I mean, I know, I looked through your stuff, but
damn, there's clients under the belt.
Yeah, you can see.
I worked with a lot of people. I was at Def Jam for a while, so I definitely went through a decent amount of their roster.
Right.
Private. I mean, even just a couple of weeks, like in the pandemic, I had like Busta Rhymes in the studio shooting some music videos with this. I think one of his artists named Pryor. I don't want to say his name wrong.
What's his name? I know you're talking about.
Yeah, big dude.
Start with a P.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot his name.
I don't know. It's flip mode. I don't know.
Nah, he sounds like Biggie.
Yeah. I think I want to say Pariah or something. I'm not gonna fucking.
Let me stop. Keep on going.
Yeah. Like within the studio. So what's cool about it is that. There you go, Prayer.
I've heard of this guy.
There we go. Yeah, Prayer. So between the studio space, like the studio is mostly like we rent it out to clients. So we'll have, production company come. I think Jackie Chan was in the space not too long ago, like probably right before we took over.
Right.
My own personal clients, I worked with like a really good friend of mine, THeSuperPpodcast. He's kind of blowing up all over the place right now. Man, I'd have to go like on my YouTube. Like it's really been
the funny thing about THeSuperPpodcast, now that you bring him up, is I think it was Fashion Week 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
I sent him to the THeSuperPpodcast show because I couldn't go. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I couldn't go. And yeah, that's when he was like, oh, he worked for THeSuperPpodcast? I went to a show. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The THeSuperPpodcast stuff it's interesting. Like, it's a really interesting brand. They're popping right now. Like, the line to get in that show was like 10 blocks long. Were you at the show with the Action Bronson?
I didn't make it to the show, but I definitely I was paying attention to that entire process.
So, they had Playboy Cardi tape a rap song like made specifically for THeSuperPpodcast for that. I've never heard it. I've looked for it online. I can't find it. They just made it for that show. That whole scene was really interesting. I really liked it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Check out his new shit, man. Like,
I'm happy that you did like it, because you don't like a lot of things.
No,
this is true.
I don't like a lot of things, but I like good things, and it was a good thing.
You know good quality when you see it. And honestly, even that, like, Column is a huge inspiration to, like, what I do in my brand in itself, because we're the same age, coming from similar places. It's kind of cool to watch your homies, like, really build it from the ground up. Because, like, I was there with him when clothing wasn't moving like that. You feel me? Nobody knew what the brand was about.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's like if you can see your homies next to you kind of build and get to that point and do it, there's really no reason as to why I can't do it or you can't do it or anybody else.
But
so
doesn't it feel liberating, like when you have your own shit and it's like,
of course,
you can like make your own stuff and you don't have to wear, what you see somebody else with on.
Yeah,
I tell people that all the time. When you make your own stuff and you put it on, you're like, damn, I don't gotta buy. You know that more than anybody for years.
I don't like wearing the shit that I make. Like, I'll trade it with somebody else that makes their stuff.
No, what I'm saying, but
I'm not gonna be like, it's like shameless self promotion.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but just the thought.
That's just
because stuff is expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the same shit you create in your stuff is what they're making, and then they're just marking it up.
Oh, of course.
3,000-4,000%.
When you get into like manufacturing, you find out like how much you're paying to really get a product made, and then you kind of turn around and look at another brand and see pretty much how they're beating people in the head just like to get the extra buck.
The markup is crazy. Like, even when I was making shirts, we topped out at like $150 each time we'd make them, and we make them a few times during the summer. Right? To produce those shirts was $5, and that's tagged and bagged, ready to go. The markup on that back then, the wholesale was like $15, $16, and it was retailed for $30-something. So by the time you get it, the price is up 6 times. That was a small run. The companies that are making bigger numbers, it's way less than $5.
Of course.
So it's a huge markup. And then, with the luxury stuff, you're kind of just paying, not really for the product. You're paying for, it's like clout. Like you're not. It's like buying a Knicks ticket. Like no one goes sees the Knicks because they're good. It's just a status symbol.
For sure.
No, but he's definitely right, because even I just saw it. Nike and Louis Vuitton got a collaboration.
Oh yeah,
that's official now.
Yeah, that's official. That's an official collaboration.
That is weird.
But you see why? Because
North Face and
North Face and Gucci. Yeah, I was talking about that last episode.
I got a current topic we could talk about.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Futura North Face?
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
About to say that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Futura, because you know what I'm saying, he was like, he appreciated the fact that I was blowing that shit up online.
He's a very good family friend.
So what exactly happened? Do you want to explain what happened?
This is what I was told. So that Cosmo thing.
The Future Light sign.
Is a Future Light sign.
The Future Light
the Cosmos. It's actually a Cosmos sign or something like that.
It's an atom. It's like an atom.
Yeah, there you go.
It's an atom.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly what it is. And Futura been using that for the longest. But there's a lot of drama with Futura with the artwork too, because Futura as a good friend, he will give his artwork to his friends and they'll use it for album covers and stuff like that. But then after that, some of those people never went back to say, hey, Futura, So then Futura is upset because at the same time, people were just using his work. It's like, bro, have respect for an artist and make sure the artist have their credit or is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, the same thing going on now. North Face comes out of nowhere, see his artwork, or they try to imitate it to where me and you could say, hey, that's a Futura piece. It's not like it's different at all. It's actually a Futura artwork. And they threw it on their clothes. And then after that, everybody's calling Futura, asking him, hey, you doing a collaboration with North Face? So automatically now you messed up his branding, because now people believe that this is a North Face Futura collection.
Right.
And then after that, now lawsuits is flying back and forth between them two. And then what happened is North Face is saying something about they want Futura to pay their legal fees. And I don't know how that works.
Which is silly.
It's really
because it's a
nonsense.
multi-billion-dollar company,
and that's
so they being petty. You know what I'm saying? It's being real petty. But just like the way they explained it, like how they did you see how they talked about him? How they said a lowly street artist and all this nonsense, and I'm like, that's dude, wild. Yo, like this dude's a legend, like an architect of his little.
This guy been around since the early.
That's what I'm saying. Like he does collaborations with everybody.
Exactly.
He started
Supreme, everything.
He started as a street artist, but he's not in that box anymore.
Right.
He's like just an artist. It's like I kind of hate that street art tag.
Yeah, and they threw that in there and was like, oh, lowly street artist and some not just real disrespectful shit that if they get it together, they all wanna.
So this is it right here. Those are the two logos, right? This is the first time actually seeing it.
Yeah.
Have you seen this before?
No, I didn't get to see it. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know Futura, right?
Yeah,
you know the artist. So remember this.
So look, the artwork is really, really similar, but like in reality, Futura doesn't have like a case.
Yeah,
like it's morally wrong, sure, but like from a legal standpoint, there's not much like recourse.
When you respect an artist, I'm not going to draw something that identify you, and then after that, don't give you any credit or give you acknowledgement of anything. Because you got to remember, if you did not look at this thing right now, and you saw somebody walking around with a goose jacket with those symbols on it, first thing you'll be like, oh, that's a fire Futura jacket. When did that come out?
That's not true. I wouldn't initially think that this is a Futura design. That's me, though. You know.
But you're not familiar with that design, though.
Of course I am. I've been collecting Nike for like 30 years. So if you would have saw it on there,
you wouldn't have thought it was his.
You saw some dude walking down the street with those on. You wouldn't say anything. And he.
If I saw this, I would not think that. It looks it just looks like a North Face logo to me.
Wow.
No, I
Like the
don't.
normal North Face logo.
I disagree with that.
More of a scribble, but
You know,
Because me personally, if I saw somebody wearing, like, if I was to had that outfit on, and I throw on a Futura T-shirt under it, or something that shows that I know what that logo kind of represent, automatically other people will be like, "Yo, that's a Futura piece. That's fire."
Like I'm saying, it's morally wrong, but it's not legally wrong, and they're two different, scales.
is it all right? Is it an exact replica of his design or logo, or
It's not. Look here, take a look. Just grab the
I'm
phone
looking at,
and
the original, and then what they're printing.
the Futures looks like spray paint. The North Face one looks like a vector.
Yeah.
Well, here's why I think it's wrong, because I've been around these fashion people for years, and they have departments that look at your Instagram, look at his Instagram, look at my Instagram,
100%.
and they just file away all these pictures and stuff, and they'll just change one little thing, and all of a sudden it's original. Like these guys go to college for 8 years, 9 years, they don't know shit.
They're not teaching creativity in school.
Exactly. So it's like they have no creativity. It's just let me copy what you're doing, and let me put another color, and all of a sudden it's mine's. That's not right.
And what is the how does it's like if you change the image 70% of it or something to that extent, it's legally
Is there a percentage to
there's
it?
something about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you change an image,
Yeah.
Look at the name. They named the collection.
Yeah, I got it.
Future light.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Like,
slap in the face. It's
okay,
like close
yeah,
enough that it's
okay, with
almost it's almost ridiculous that
You know what I'm saying?
With the text next to it, sure.
When
Yeah,
I
if
saw,
you're gonna
bro,
put
when I
fu- yeah,
first
yeah,
saw, when I first saw a Future light, because you know what I'm saying. Shout out to North Face, they do give me stuff. I thought of Futura when I saw Future light, but I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like,
I didn't think
they took care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what pissed me off. And then I saw that, I'm like, damn, you trying to. This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They own Supreme, they
can
own
afford
Vans,
to
they own
break them
Timberland. All you do is you get with Futura's people and you say, listen, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we'll give you. We want to use it. We'll give you credit. And he would have been like, fine.
And you know what's so crazy? Do you know Futura worked with North Face before?
Yes.
And that's where you gotta say those words too. It's like if I worked with you before, it just like, for example, and I'll tell you a story too, and it's kind of weird too. Nike did the same thing with Cause. I'll tell you when. Cause designed those Air Force One sneakers with the X's on the trim. Remember those? The black and green. And he did the white and green. Do you remember the baseball Air Force One sneakers that came out after that with the same stitching?
Right.
So-called, I don't know if it's true or not, but Cause was the person who made them do that stitching with the X's, do the Air Forces. And then out of nowhere, that was supposed to be Cause collection. Then after that, they come out with a baseball edition of the Air Force One sneaker, the same stitching.
Yeah, but
Cause felt upset about that because he was the one that said, hey, y'all guys designed as a collection for me, but they're used in the same silhouette that I use, but just changing the color.
But how can you take responsibility for every cross stitch?
Well,
Like, it's a
Air Force One
cross
never did that
stitch.
before.
It doesn't matter. It's a cross stitch. It's
Alright,
like
so after I
it's a
do it-
standard thing that's done in clothing. Like cross stitching isn't Cause's thing.
Alright,
Like
but not in
cavemen, like the
sneakers and Air Force
first humans that were here, like probably cross stitched something.
Maybe the bigger question here is like big corporations and disrespecting like no artistic integrity.
Exactly.
Like, maybe that's really what it is.
That's what it is,
But
bro.
I mean, do you expect artistic integrity behind like $1 billion corporation?
And I mean,
Like,
No, but if you're trying to push a product that seems as if you're collaborating, because it seems like a lot of these brands are kind of trying to reach back to the street aesthetic. All these big luxury
Right.
brands want to do
Sure.
streetwear now. So it's just like, all right, how do we get to the streets? Like we collaborate with street artists or street people. We want more people in these urban neighborhoods wearing our stuff. Because like I think I remember hearing the story about Timberland, how Timberland was obviously never like the way that the black community is taking the boot and blowing it up. It was never meant for
it
us.
was never meant.
It was a construction boot, like, and
Yeah.
they didn't want people, black people wearing construction Timbs. But the way that the hip hop culture even took it and transformed this shoe into like such a staple item, like Timberland wouldn't be nearly as big as it was if it wasn't for our community. And it's just like, so it's looking at that and like that's just those examples of repeating over and over again throughout history, just with different brands.
Listen, I'm glad you said that, because the fact of the matter is 90% of this stuff that's out here was never made for people of color. And the only reason why they all of a sudden, they cater to it is because when people of color start wearing this stuff and start doing this, it blows up. Next thing you know, everybody wants it.
Yeah.
They make it popping.
But how do you attribute your success to the black community?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
never want to.
and that's what I'm saying. It's just more of it's just disrespect, bro. Like, it's everybody knows, and it's just with all types of companies and stuff like that. Everybody knows right from wrong. Nobody's stupid. They just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is it illegal? What they're doing, is it illegal? Can you take a court case out and actually win it?
he probably can win this case.
No, definitely
But then you
100%.
named the- but you named the
They're
connection
asking
when
for
you
court
named
fees. They're asking for court fees. When a person asks for court fees, it means
They know you don't have a case.
it means you wasted my time, stupid. Now give me more money. That's what it means.
Unfortunately.
I don't know.
You're
I think he has a chance, but
I
you
think he
know,
has a
it
chance
can
to
go
fight
either
it.
way. It can go your way. It can go my way. But I'm just saying.
It's only gonna
You just
go
gotta
one
respect the
way.
artist.
It got to depend on the argument.
I'm just saying.
Because, all right, you already said they try to put out a piece about, this lowly street artist or whatnot. But if you already had a history of collaborating with this lowly street artist, then it's just like, now you look retarded because it's just like, all right, we've worked with you before. We have a history.
Yeah.
We stole your work and now we're not trying to give you credit
Bro,
for
he
it.
just did something with Supreme this season.
He did something with Uniqlo, and Uniqlo is the biggest retail company around the world.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense, bro.
Like I said, it's morally wrong, but it's not illegal, and that's what they know. That
I mean, it just like I said, it just goes to show you, like, this is the problem with fashion and these companies. It's these people that don't have no creativity, like you said, that's sitting there and just looking at a screen or looking at, oh my gosh, look what they see it, they touch it up a little bit, they change it a little bit, and all of a sudden,
none of those ideas were original to begin with. So what about the person that drew the atom that Futura looked at to base his off of? What about that guy, the guy that we don't know?
no, well,
Does he
Futura,
have like
that's
a
an
more,
original,
everything is
drawing.
ripped off of something. There's nothing like original about any of these ideas.
but that's his take of the atom, so it's original.
But it's still an atom.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, but I'm saying, like, if you draw one right now, that's your original take of it.
But do I have a gripe? But like, can someone have a gripe with me for drawing that atom?
Not really.
No.
Somebody could take a position and be like, you're biting Futura's work.
Sure, but everything's
That comes
biting
down
off
to-
everything.
I mean, but
like,
think about it. I hear what you're saying. It's called Future Light. Like, I get what you're saying, but it just like, let me slap you more. Let me slap you again.
Let me slap you
again.
the real slap is the court fees.
Well, you know, I don't think
from an
it's
unwinnable
gonna get to
case.
that. I think, you know, because
settled out of
yeah, they
settled out of
do
court.
they do say, you know, when you bring things to the public, they don't want
wanna
the
look bad.
negative.
Because there's a lot of people
That's right.
boycotting North Face at the moment. just
Yeah,
because of
it's
this.
a lot of people.
I'm sure North Face ran this through their lawyers way before Futures.
And you know, so
You
crazy.
know,
North Face
decided to
owns
sue.
what? Timberland. They own Supreme.
Yeah,
The umbrella company, not North Face itself.
Was
VF
it VFW?
VF Corporation.
Yeah.
They
so,
own all of them.
And if you notice, those are the same companies that always do collaborations with the same people in all different
Because
brands.
they collaborate with themselves.
Yeah,
I know for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I know for sure there's a Futura Timberland boot somewhere out
You know what I'm
there.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an unwinnable case, but I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna settle out of court. I mean,
Intellectual property is like the hardest thing to protect. So if you have yourself a good intellectual property lawyer, then hold on to them, and they're probably going to be really expensive. Because there's really no way of protecting intellectual property in the end.
So, Quest, as you as an artist, say right now you design something. Probably want to face this way so the camera can see you. So you design something, you know, you want to be like, how would you feel as an artist if someone like copy your work? Knowing that the videos, I
I
mean,
mean, it's happened before, but you gotta understand, like, that's a part of art is to inspire. So, of course, in the moment, you just kind of like, wow, you're really biting my shit. But at the same time, it's like my shit was good enough for you to get inspired from to try to imitate. So it's like all it is for me is just to set the ball higher next time, so it's harder for you to reach. And I guess with this game too, is there's a lot of gatekeeping, maybe in like the film industry or just like in this culture. And I think coming up as I never went to film school, so for me to learn as much as I have, I didn't have the same borders that most people come into the game with, where you have like this list of rule and style, and this is how something's supposed to be done in technique. It was just like what felt right.
You literally like self-taught
from the jump. So it's like, how did it make me feel? And that's the same way when I'm shooting to when I go to editing. So there's a reason why I understood why clients would come to me, because it was a certain way that the edit might feel, or the final product might look, where you're just like, wow, like this one person was able to take this from maybe an idea I had to this final product to look like professional grade product. I know not everybody can do that as a one person team, even that by itself. So that in itself is kind of like my selling point. So it's just like, if you really want to bite or like try to take that, like you got to put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different with my art versus like somebody looking at a design and just copying the design, changing a couple colors and like flipping it.
Right. Well, I mean, you're getting into the clothing, the merchandise part. You know, like you said, like what if somebody copied your bag or copied your shirt? You know what I'm saying?
Like, look, it's probably not the first time. Obviously, nobody's done like a all over print or logo print of a tote. Like you're saying, like nothing's really been done for the first time. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like, how are you gonna do it? Like, what's your spin on it? What's our take on it? Because there's a million ashtrays. I don't know how many ashtrays react to heat. Like even if this,
can we see the ashtray for a minute?
Even if we could change one aspect of how people approach things, or look at it's 3D printed,
this is nice
materials, it's lightweight. I don't know. We got to change it.
What's the name of your brand?
So it's 58th and Fair. The studios, 58 Studios, NYC.com. Check it out.
Cool. Mm-hmm. So it's a 5 with an 8 ball. Yeah, a little fire in it.
The flame. Yeah.
This is fire, guys. This is nice.
So get those. Gonna drop soon.
These change colors too.
So once it reacts to heat. So if you took a lighter to it right now,
yeah.
I don't know if I got one. But
oh boy, you're gonna light the place up.
You hold a flame under it, you'll watch it change color.
No,
I don't have a lighter. I mean, if you have a lighter, you can light it up.
Hey, look, just make sure y'all cop. If y'all cop, you'll see a reaction. I usually have a lighter. I don't got one right now.
Damn.
We got the body kits coming out. So again, this is all my brother. I'm here to put my brother on it. Fuck whatever I got going on. My brother's a genius.
Right.
So he designed a kit, a body kit. Like you've seen everybody kind of wearing, like especially men now, you're wearing bags, satchels, whatever, like totes. Mm-hmm. So he created a kit that you can wear in 5 different styles. So it comes with like interchangeable like belts or little straps and handles. We have like, I'll show you those clips afterwards, but we have like some promos from the first beta run of it, but now we've moved to leather. So it's gonna be a fully leather, handmade, like raw leather material bag. Outside of that, so we do like print shops at the studio from time to time, like people that are interested in either starting their own brand, just learning the process of like printing tees or graphic design, whatever. He does workshops. Myself, I'm trying to get back into giving back, because I understand that, one, I feel like I'm extremely blessed. Like I'm blessed with a lot of opportunity. So for me, it's trying to give back to our communities, allowing kids that look like me, you, to understand that picking up a basketball is not the only way, rapping is not the only way. You know, it's like the things that are usually generally pushed to our communities as the way out isn't always the end all be all. So you can look at a young guy like me and be like, wow, like, okay, they own a studio, they're doing full body like film production. It is a technical sport. It gets, there's you have to do your homework, but at the same time, it's fun. You're creating, and I feel like it's hard for people to put you in a box, because like now that I run my own business, nobody can come to me and say like, hey, I got $500 for you to do this. It's just like, I'm like, what am I doing with that?
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're not coming with like proper figures right now, it's just like, you see the work. I don't have to sell myself. Right. I'm not here advertising saying, hey, hire me out for this job. I do not promote my shit at all.
That is true.
But I am forever busy, and that by itself, it just shows me like, all right, just continue to do what I'm doing.
But that shows you have a strong clientele, bro. Like,
man, this guy is always booked, man. But you know what? I'm always happy. He's always a call away. When I say one person that's humble, and he didn't even tell you like people he worked with. When I say his studio is nice, he's dealing with movie sets, Netflix, everything like that. Very humble dude. And this guy is like, yo, just hit me up. If I'm free, I'll do it. One humble dude, and I respect him with his work. And like he says, like his clientele, there's only Pacific people, like when I'm dealing with videography with anything I'm doing, it's only the first person out of all people I'm hitting up is him.
Right.
Then right after him, if he'll tell you straight up, if I can't do it, there's another person we deal with personally, E. Shout out to E, the producer. E's another great person, and they all work together. They all learn under each other. Right. And that's 2 people that's always like, yo, they always bounce and work with each other. Like, yo, E, I got to do this real quick. I need you doing this.
Community
Qvest, I need you to do this. This time they both on the set together with us. So, you know, I appreciate both of y'all. And that's one thing. Definitely want to have you on the show for sure, too. When, you know, this guy, very talented dude, man. Very, very talented dude. Just to sit down and be put on MTV once in a while and see videos that he did.
Right.
That he probably didn't even say he did. But he did do some of these videos. You know, what's Pete Davidson's girlfriend? What's that lady name?
Oh, Ariana Grande.
There you go. He shot that video, too.
I gripped on that. So, I gripped one of her music videos.
Right.
I got homies at Rock Nation and shit that I've done music videos for. Like, I got a lot of people that, and same, like, I kind of try to stick to, like, now I'm not worried about the big names. I'm looking for that next artist that can, like, really has that either that body of work or that sound that I'm like, yo, this can go.
Propel you up.
Exactly. And then from there, it's like, if I can listen to your song and get inspired in the moment to just want to create something visually for it, like, my mind already just starts racing. And I'm just like, yo, like, we could do this.
Yeah.
Like, once I start getting, I'm like, no, I got to do this video.
Right.
Because if it can make me feel that way, I won't get bored with the edit.
Right.
Like I've learned my lesson because I've taken on projects where I wasn't really super interested in the song. It was just like maybe it was a money play or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And the product, I feel like the product suffers for it because I got to suffer through it. So I can't put my best foot forward if I'm not completely invested into it.
Yeah, because even with stuff like that, like how you say like everything doesn't have to be the big famous artist. You know what I'm saying? Because people will watch it a couple of weeks and then they're on to the next. You know. But if you get that artist that's ascending and that, you know, that video pops and it's like, oh shit, like who did that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then you go right up with them, you know what I'm saying? So
And honestly, I swear to you, that's probably how I've gotten a majority of my work.
yeah, I'm saying
It
that's
was always just on some like artist kind of on the come up.
yeah.
I put the product out and then like,
Yeah, because even with podcasting, that's what, you know, I hear, like, one time me and him was conversation, I ain't gonna say names. Oh, we gotta have big, famous people. Remember had this conversation? Somebody he knows. We need big, famous people on the podcast. Just big, famous people. Bro, that's not how you supposed to do a podcast, bro.
this one clicks.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have interesting people that relate to who's listening or watching your product. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be the most famous person to be interested and be like, oh, he does that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me tap into that. And that's what people miss. Like, not everything is, oh, famous. Oh, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got 50 million followers. Like,
Yeah, I guess in the society too, you got a bunch of people chasing the idea of a celebrity or whatever. It's
bro,
just,
there's people with thousands and thousands of followers and don't got $1 in their pocket or a pot to piss in.
that's the fucking key right there. That's right there.
So-
people faking this lifestyle online.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that
Do it for the
Instagram
gram.
thing, most of it is a fantasy world. Unless, like, you know, like for instance, I use my Instagram for business to promote the podcast. Occasionally post something of my family, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? There's people that you would think they're a millionaire the way they go on
There's
Instagram.
bar,
culture
there's
like
trip.
oversharing too. Like people just all day like posting your food, where you at. Like nobody gives a fuck.
Exactly.
Like keeping it 100%. Just how general interaction between people, nobody really cares how much or what it is you're doing throughout the course of your day. There's no need to update your following to that.
Right.
But to each his own, because at the same time, somebody has to put out that content to, I guess, just get clicks or views.
Right.
But then when now the person that doesn't post as much, like a me or you, when we actually do have something to say or something to put out, people are more likely to pay attention because they don't see things coming from us too often.
Okay, because you gonna say something, Junior?
Yeah. People like Cole Bennett, you know what I'm talking about? Like they will, like if you're an aspiring rapper and you get Cole Bennett to do a song for you, like a video, like it sets your career off. Like, can you see yourself kind of going in that direction, like a Cole Bennett type?
What I attribute to Cole is that he was smart with his YouTube plays. Like he made sure to kind of brand his channel and made sure that, all right, I'm working with Trippy, I'm working with this guy. I'll do your video, but your video has to be released through my channel. He wasn't giving them product or the label product to go run with, because that's where he was able to incentivize himself. Because once you were able to make sure that all of this traffic came through your channel, now all these other artists are falling in behind themselves to get on your channel. So I've honestly, and he caught it at the right time with that YouTube boom, because I feel like it's kind of hard to get that same kind of interest generated into your following nowadays. But I know for a fact, like I remember like the early Trippy days, I'm not trying to think who else, like Juice WRLD, like he made sure he was on artists as they were breaking and then doing their visuals, so that all of those that fan base all came to him. So now, like, I guarantee you, he's charging these labels arm and a leg to like get to do their artist videos just to put it through his channel.
Yeah, I heard he turns down a lot of people too.
I'm like, his work isn't super impressive to me. He's done some good shit here and there, but it's again, like he built his business, like Lemonade, Lyrical Lemonade, like being able to build a festival out of that. Like all that, I'm telling you, I guarantee it started from him being able to incentivize his YouTube following and making sure that he was able to have that on the back burner. So that's how you get the money. Like people, you get 1 million views, you're getting paid by YouTube. These artists, I highly doubt he's cutting these artists back anything off of the views that he did their video. I'm directing your video, I'm shooting it, I'm putting it on my channel, I'm keeping all the money, and you paid me for this visual.
Yeah, probably. It's just like a promotion fee, and that's it.
100%. He has his own small studio spaces. He's able to do everything in-house, and it's kind of like a similar idea as to like what I have going on. If I could have gone back and done it differently, I would have done the same as far as like pushing all of my content through my YouTube, because I always was signing off my products to labels. It was just like, okay, you paid me $5,000 for this. The rights to the video is yours. I own no clips. And I would just like wipe my hands of it and walk away.
Right. I think that there's a space like for like kind of like an East Coast version of Cole Bennett, because he's like California, right? Yeah. I think that could like be done again on this coast. And I think especially now with like the rap scene, like there's a lot of interesting stuff coming out of like New York City, like rap wise. Are there any like rappers you're excited about that are like NYC based? Wait, first of all, are you from New York City?
Yeah, I am from New York City, born and raised around Brooklyn. Who am I excited about right now? I'm definitely into like the Winner's Circle. They got some good stuff going on with like Chef G and Sleepy Hollow and those kids. Also from like, I grew up in like the Canarsie area. They're from Canarsie as well. Funny, like I got a homie named Cliff. His artist name is THE. This kid, like he works with me. Like I met this kid on set as a carpenter, and he's one of those kids that just does music in their bedroom, like kind of like very small setup. But like he came to my crib maybe like 2 weeks ago, and he played me like his project. And when I hand to God, like this kid blew me out of the fucking water. I was like, yo, you did this in your room? Like, I know people that go to these huge studios paying $100, $200 an hour just to get some studio time. I'm like, you produced this, engineered it, recorded yourself. It's a rough mix and master, but you're doing this in your fucking bedroom? And like, it reminded me, I don't know if do you remember how you felt when you heard The Weeknd House of Balloons, like for the first time?
Yeah, I was never a big Weeknd fan, but like,
I'm not. House of Balloons for me was probably his best project of all time. Anything after that, I'm like, all right, whatever. But like, I remember how it felt like hearing Michael Jackson for the first time almost.
Okay, I mean,
that was kind of the vein it had me in. So when he played this for me and it hit me like that, I was like, yo, like what the fuck? Like, and this kid is on nobody's radar, like nobody's maps.
We gotta have him on the show.
Yo, I would.
Well, how do you spell his name? Is it just
HYE? That's his artist name. Hi.
We gotta have him on the show.
I'll put y'all on, bro. Like that's if it's one thing, I'm down. I'm down. Just put him in. Yo, that kid is going far. Like he's going fucking far.
So is it fair to say that you have like a production house?
Yeah. So 58th and Fair started as a printing company, ended up turning into like a production company. And I guess the end goal, we want to end up being like a creative agency. So it's kind of the same idea you're talking about with Lyrical Lemonade. It's funny because we want to do like a 58th and Fair. That's the name of the brand, but like a 58th and Fair day, like a fair outside, Ferris wheel, the whole nine. It's just so much. It's like a lot to build though, because at the same time, like as you're building a brand, you want it to be organic with your fan base. I want to really be able to connect with people, understand that we're New York based. So right now we're doing like a lot more events, especially for this summer. Just trying to tap in and get more connected, because people have now the logo's getting a lot more looks. Like people are starting to recognize it, like, yo, I've been to that studio space. Because funny enough, the space itself where the studio is, that's been operational for maybe like the last 6 or 7 years. We took over 2 years ago. So just in the space of 2 years, like we changed the branding, but the logo is hitting more notes now than it was before. So it's like, all right, I've never been a camera-facing person. I've never been putting myself in the forefront, or my brother either. Like we're very, put the product first, let the product speak for itself, and clientele will come, and it works. But we've also realized that people want to see who's behind the scenes. They want to know who the face of the brand is. They want to be able to attribute that.
I had this conversation with somebody the other day about like trying to like separate your face from the work. Like, do you think that like you have to have your face attached to it?
I don't think you have to, because like I said, I've been doing this for like 7 years. My face wasn't behind my work at all. But what I'm realizing is, especially as selling products, stuff like this, before we'd go out of our way to get models, try to get a notable face that could kind of maybe help push the product in a direction. I'm like, yo, fuck that. Like I don't need this artist, model, whoever to wear my shit to make it look good. Like I can make my shit look good. And at the same time, it kind of helps with the culture of the exclusivity. Because now it's like, this is home team, 58th and Fair is home team. Only 58th and Fair people get this, or have access, or even know how to get in touch with us in order to get product. Like right now, we just made rugs. Like we have 58th and Fair huge logo rugs coming, like 8 foot by 5 foot. These things are
that from my collection.
like this is stuff like these. There's certain part like when I'm saying like home goods and lifestyle. Like we're literally gonna get into that vein where. The same way you'd walk into somebody's house and notice like a Supreme piece on the wall and be like, wow, that's a 58th and Fair shit. Or like, that's where we're going with it.
Supreme does it the same way you're saying, that everything's kind of kept in-house. Like, Jason Dill, who was like a model, you know who Jason Dill is?
Yeah, I remember the name. I'm trying to pull the face.
He's like a skater, but he modeled a bunch of Supreme stuff. He's also like a karate teacher. Like he teaches like people karate that work for like Supreme. It's all looped in like a home, like what you're saying, like they have a team of people and they just kind of keep it amongst friends, like
exactly.
Yeah,
and everybody else just buys into it because it's
makes
like
exclusivity, right.
They want to be in on the in crowd, and that's just like even that. Like I grew up skating, like I would definitely turn around. Like my brothers made decks before, so we could print decks. Like that's easy branding. Put our logo on the bottom of the deck, give it to a couple kids, give them some hoodies. What did that cost me? And at the same time, now they're riding around. They're 6 skaters. They're gonna get looks. And now turn around and start a 5'8" skate team from next to nothing.
Yeah, and especially since you got the studio and stuff, like product placement is like nothing for you. You know,
little shop.
Literally, we do it all in house. Like
know what I'm
I'm telling you after because I can't. I don't know if later I can send you guys clips just so you can see some of the stuff that we do in house, just to even market our own product. But yeah, it's essentially that. Like I'm not worried about having to go find a cinematographer, a videographer, or somebody to come conceptualize commercials with me. We literally, my brother and I could sit there, spend half an hour to an hour ideating, and then turn around and literally go shoot the shit and make it happen.
Right. So your brother, he also does like the filming and stuff like that?
So actually he's getting into it more now. So he was working for a company for a while doing marketing and ads for like Land Rover Jaguar. So he was more like in the art director vein with that company. But he's been doing more like GIFs and like little animations. Yeah. So he's getting into the video show. I was just like, yo, bro, like, I don't gotta do.
From how you're talking, he's kind of like starting to.
I'm just like, I don't really gotta touch the camera as much. And like, I'm the more technical as far as like camera rigging and all that, but he knows what he's doing. So I'm starting to leave him to his own devices.
Right. Because you guys are gonna come across those people who, they're gonna try to disrespect you because you're self-taught. And I know you've probably seen it already. You know what I'm saying? These people because they did this and they've been to the big school and
of course.
they worked with this one. And then they come see you bust it down and they're like,
where'd you go to school?
Exactly.
Like,
and then when you're like, nah, I just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hate when people, you know what I'm saying? Because people, I'm telling you, they don't like to see creativity. They don't like to see creative motherfuckers that just go above the grain and like, they don't like that drive.
It makes some people uncomfortable.
That drive scares them. You know what I'm saying?
It's more than that. Like, creative, like in the art world, somebody that's not classically trained or didn't go to art school, they're called like an outsider, an outsider artist. So when you look at like a painting, there's like an academic standard behind all that. And if you didn't conform to that academic part of it, people that did just won't look at you the same way, It's like it's just an academic standard with all this stuff. I'm not saying it's like fair, but like to me, I think that I'd much rather go to an outsider art show than one that's put on by a bunch of people that were classically trained.
Even I know you guys are probably seeing like all the stuff going on, like the Guggenheim and like the black curators and kind of like stifling creativity and like all this stuff. So it's the art culture in itself, I'm sure, is like a different world. That's a different beast. But you got like a lot of these Eurocentric ideas or ideologies for like what it is, like what art is or how it should be interpreted or perceived. And then you have people who live, breathe their experiences and transform that into their own versions of art. And for somebody to be like, oh, well, I went to school for this and tell you that your art isn't art, like, fuck you. Like that doesn't, you can't create a standard for what art should be or how art should be measured. I don't feel like, because art is how you perceive it. Like everybody's gonna perceive it differently.
Form of expression.
I mean, there's also an academic standard and like in fashion. These standards are in pretty much every industry, I don't really agree with them either. I agree with you, you know. I think the outsiders are a lot more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people that are in jail that like hone their craft are probably the most talented people on the earth.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones with the time to really like sit there and make something.
But it's crazy. Like the
right.
majority of, you know, the dope artists are artists that taught themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Self-taught. And they just had a...
You can't teach creativity. Like,
Exactly. You got that in your head, like, yo, I'm doing this. Boom. Like, you know? But other than that, so what are your upcoming projects?
So as of now, so we are in July, right? Oh, are we in July yet?
Almost.
No, almost. We're almost in July. Okay. There's
in the future already.
There's a 50th fair Jerk Fest coming up. We're doing like a jerk brunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're teaming up with like some local restaurants. A lot of them are one of the guys on my team, Wednesday, he's lately taken on the role of kind of marketing and like event planning. So he's vegan, so he's been reaching out to like a lot of vegan restaurants and black-owned businesses, and just kind of letting them know we exist, and then trying to create a space where we may be able to collaborate. Because this is, again, like I'm trying to be very community-based as far as the company is concerned. Same with like trying to, once school starts back, going into the schools, offering like little after-school programs for kids for the arts. Whether it's teaching them photography, film, lighting, how to work in a studio, like whatever it is, just again, like showing people different outlets of either creativity or a career. Because how did I get into music videos? Like I think I pulled up to a friend's video shoot one night and I was just kind of looking around like, yo, this looks cool. Like I would be interested in this. And like 10 years later, I'm literally knee deep in this. So
you know what I'm saying?
It literally can just come from like that one experience for you to be like, this is something that I could, see myself doing.
So what is the date of this?
So the jerk bunch is end of July. I'll get back to you guys with the solid dates and file. Yeah, you guys gonna be in the loop now. We got a lot.
I'm already there.
We're producing. We're trying to produce a late night special right now at the studio where it's kind of encapsulating, like, imagine a TED Talk meets like Colors. So we're going like late at 5/8, pretty much like a small show, ticketed event, people come through. But it wasn't supposed to be centralized around musicians. We just wanted to capture artists, whether it's photographer, producers, whatever it is, and actually sit down, have an interview portion with them, and then also allow a time slot for them to showcase what it is that they do. So, like, I have a very talented homie of mine who I've done some work for as well, HD Been Dope. Talented rapper, producer, mix and master. So he's more so known for his artistry as a rapper, but what I wanted to do was highlight his production end. So I was like, all right, cool, come in, you talk about the music, you talk about your journey. He has like a cool little situation on the table right now. I don't know if he's gonna want to get into that, but all right, show people your process as far as like, this is the kind of kid that literally sits in his room for 22 hours out of the day just making beats. Like, this is the 10 beats a day for 3 something, like whatever the Kanye one.
Is he from Gowanus?
Not Gowanus. He's just like, Flatbush area? I want to say he's like in the Flatbush area. Right
What's
HD Been Dope.
Yeah.
He's been all over the city. Like,
yeah, I think I've spoken to you. I wanted to like talk to this guy for a while.
We'll make it happen. Like, that's nothing. But like I was saying, example for him, like have him come in, interview portion, kind of get familiar with the crowd, and then show like him making a beat live and letting people enjoy that part of his artistry.
That'd be cool.
So and like a photographer, like maybe going through the digital process of far as like how they edit. Or that's what I'm saying, like just different artists in different mediums so that it doesn't just get too centralized around music and musicians, which I feel like a lot of these shows are kind of just geared towards, because everybody's wanting to find a new hot artist.
Yeah, so
it sounds like you're more looking to inspire the viewer.
I think we need to connect him with Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey is a good
Mikey
person,
Cole. You ever heard of Mikey Likes It Ice Cream?
Yeah.
Y'all need to definitely have a conversation because y'all both on that level as far as like community, and he's moving and shaking out here. He's doing a lot of. I think y'all do some things.
That's what I'm down for.
You know what I'm saying?
Community building and branching out, because I'm not worried about money. It's really money is not the end all be all for me. Like I do understand that once you create something like this and there's just no stopping it, like money comes without saying.
It'll come, bro. And another good thing I would say, doesn't it feel liberating that you're your own boss? I mean, 100%. Yeah, you work occasionally for somebody, but how it is, you know what I'm saying? Like you basically create your own cash flow.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And when you get like that, it's hard to take other jobs.
It is, because now
tell
it just
people that
feels
all
like
the
money's
time.
this intangible thing that is like I could kind of create out of whatever I
like,
have. I'm just like the other day, like I have an apartment in Crown Heights. I was at work. I had a homie hit me up like, yo, I need an apartment for a music video. I just need a couple scenes. I was like, you can rent my apartment. Like $125 an hour. Even though I'm not home. Like I'm a few minutes away. I dropped off my keys, made some money, like just off of somebody being in my house.
Yeah.
Again, the studios, that at this point, passive income. Everything I buy for the studios, equipment based, I rent it out. Like it's so there's money coming from a million different directions at this point, which is a blessing. Again, it's a
No,
huge
but I'm
blessing.
saying, but doesn't it just feel liberating?
Yeah,
like,
because I'm not worried about like I have to go to work today.
like
I have to show up.
Well, damn, I could just do this, and you know what I'm saying? Like the freedom. I tell people, the freedom is like amazing.
Financial freedom is not something that a lot of us get to experience.
Exactly. It's and it's
Financial
very important.
comfortability, even like to be comfortable in your finance, where you can comfortably be like, all right, I'm not worried about next week or next month or like whatever. Yeah, that's a huge thing.
I tell people, you can't live check to check. That's just not living. You know, you're just a slave to somebody else, some big corporation or somebody else who got the, you know, nickel and diming you. You know.
So
That's
one
one of them
thing
salaries.
I was just asked, what would you say to that young person who wants to come up and be a producer or videographer? What words would you encouragement would you tell that young person at this moment?
Words of encouragement. Really believe in yourself. Like it's don't let anybody ever tell you what you can or can't do. Don't let anybody set expectations for what it is that you might be able to achieve. Don't feel like school is the end all be all. It's like you can't pay, like you can pay for education, but you can't pay for talent. Like it's stuff like, it's certain things that come with it. Like you really, experience is your best teacher. Because I've never sat in a classroom and learned something that I couldn't have gone and learned in the field. Like me working on film sets, I guarantee has taught me way more than if I was to sit in a classroom at NYU for 4 years and pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars for an education that is either outdated or just based in theory. And then by the time I get to the set, I still don't know what the fuck is going on. So.
Yeah, because I think another thing that you do have, and it's good for younger kids to even, you know, there are younger kids that do listen to this, patience. Just to have the patience to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not easy, but these kids these days don't have no patience, including mine. They just think that it's just instant gratification. Like, okay, I want it, boom.
It pairs.
No, you gotta have patience. And you gotta, and I mean, I'm telling you, and I say this all the time, and you gotta have respect. Respect for yourself and respect for the people you deal with. Because
100%.
somebody you dealing with now, you don't know
Where they gonna end up.
You know, 2 years from now, this could be somebody that could really open a door for you.
Oh man, I've had several of those.
You know?
Like people that I don't speak to for 5, 7 years, turn around. I just had a client the other day. It was funny. Somebody calls me on my studio phone, calling to book the studio space. He's talking. I start to recognize the voice. I'm like, yo, like this sounds mad familiar. But I'm like, let me finish out the conversation. So they want to book the space. I'm like, cool. So at the end of the conversation, I'm like, yo, you don't even know who you're talking to right now. He's like, nah, like who am I talking to? I'm like, oh, it's Jordan. My real name Jordan. He's like, he's like Jawney Qvest Jordan, like little Jordan from back in the day. Just come to find out. So maybe about 7 to 8 years ago, I had linked up with this group called Brownsville 300. I was doing their music videos and stuff. I think they were like kind of in with like Busta and 50 Cent and all these guys. Bunch of hood guys from Brownsville, like just like the thick of it. So they had a small space literally around the block from where my studio space is now. Like I'm on Hancock, they're on Warefield. It's literally the next block over. And I came in and they had like an upstairs area where I ended up kind of like cleaning out and turning into a small studio space. So that was my very first studio space in his building. So the same guy that called me for my studio space was the guy that used to own that space. So he didn't know that I was now the owner of this studio space around the block. But it's just the same thing. Like he was like, yo, like I'm so glad we didn't end on a bad note. He's like, look at this. Like I haven't spoken to you in years. I turn around and just, you know, do some regular business, and it comes to find out, yeah, you running shit now. He's like, imagine if me and you was on a bad note. You could have just been like, yo, fuck me. Like you can't use the space.
Exactly. It's a fact.
So, yo.
People be burning bridges left and right and don't even know it.
Exactly. Your network will continue to pay you for, you never, because it's funny, that same guy, he's the one that told me, he's like, yo, never change your number. He's like, keep your number for as long as you can.
Yeah.
And I've had that same number for like, well, close to 10 years. And the same number that he was able to call is how he's able to still reach me now.
Right.
So, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's like poetic.
How we looking?
We,
Almost in the end.
we got about 5 minutes.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to ask? What do you want to know?
Ask. This is my first
what
podcast
conversation
ever.
you want? This is yours.
Nah, you're doing a great job,
Yeah,
bro. You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it,
You know, since you do video, I wanted to ask you what you thought about the Who I Smoke video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm serious. What do you think
I
about
saw
it?
like little clips of it, him on the golf course and all that. Like,
Yeah. You didn't watch the whole
I
thing?
didn't watch the whole. You know what I want to talk about? Let's talk about this new Kodak video. This Glee.
I didn't see it.
Oh man, he got Sweetie in the video.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, Sweetie rapping?
Nah, he ain't got Sweetie
No,
rapping in
she
it. He
ain't
got
rapping.
Sweetie in the video though, and I know that's causing some upsets.
Oh, some offset?
Some
Upset?
upsets. he definitely gave Sweetie a little smooch in the video, and I was just like, yo, watch that. If you haven't seen that video, one is shot very well, so I really like the way the video came out.
The disrespect is real, huh?
The only video that kind of like shocked me that I didn't watch a video after that was this kid, the one who went to hell and with the bloody sneakers.
Nah.
Oh,
Yeah, that
nice.
video was a little like, what happened? And he said it straight up, fuck the kids, yo. I was like, the kids is the ones that made you who you are, and now you saying fuck them?
I guess he feeling himself a little bit. You know, that's all
That
I can say
video was
about
crazy. My man would slide down the pole. Go down,
Hey.
that bitch or the devil.
that. Come on now. This is Sunday. Come on now.
Yeah.
This is Sunday. Come on now.
But y'all talking about crazy videos.
You know what I'm saying?
Pop culture is going in some
We don't
different
want to hear
directions.
about sliding down poles right about now. You know what I'm saying?
Pop culture is different. Like American culture is different. Like what they push into the kids right now is different.
Whoa, it is crazy. It's funny you said that, man. It is crazy. Because before TV was censored. You wouldn't see a video like that after 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock when you know your kid is at bed.
Oh, no, not.
You wouldn't
MTV
even
at
see that on
night
TV,
or
honestly.
BET box.
There was some crazy videos back in the day that like they wouldn't play during the daytime, like
BET
Dead
Uncut?
Prez videos and all
but that was
different types
at
of
late
shit.
at night.
Yeah,
When
late
the
at
kids
night.
was in the bed.
Oh, they're playing this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No,
the kids come home.
They 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You only had like what Beavis and Butthead. That was like
I'm
kinda
saying
scary.
that you're saying that this is like being targeted towards kids.
Now,
Yeah.
Well, all the
There's a
TV
lot of shit they targeting
Yeah, I
towards
could
kids.
just type it
It's
now.
very
and it's
subtle,
there.
but it's all right. Like even in all right. So quick story. My son is 5, and one day they had virtual school, and one day they had a guest speaker, like a guest in the class, but it was a man dressed in drag, and I was kind of like, this is strange. Like, but they came to do activities, kids sing, whatever, you know, and the kids don't really think much of it. Like, you know, they're not attributing anything to that. But as an adult watching, I'm just like, what are you trying to normalize? Like, I understand that we're in an all-inclusive society. Nobody should be judged. But also, like, you have a room full of children here, and you're looking at a man dressed as a woman and singing and dancing like everything's normal. I mean,
Well, I mean, maybe they're trying to show that. You see, like,
I don't know.
this
I
is-
don't see anything wrong.
I don't
with
see
that,
anything
but
wrong with see
whatever.
this is what I feel right now. Like, and this is what I mean. And personally, I was not raised with this kind of culture or anything like that either. But it's something like you just said. Now is it's normal. It's normal now. It's something that we at that time have to change. It's normal. 'Cause like right now, two men were holding hands down the street. We would have been laughing, giggling. No, you know what? Let's do it
Accept
this way.
it.
Let's do it this way.
love who you want to love. I
There
agree.
you go. No, listen, I want to say one thing. Back in the day, when we saw a girl in a weave, first thing we would say, shorty don't got no hair, she ugly, she needs to go grow her hair. Am I lying? Now you see a girl in a weave, she's sexy, she hot, she got different colors, the match
they
to
all
go
got-
with it,
they all got
marketing,
it.
business. So now it's acceptable. So what I feel when it comes to that, bro, you just gotta take it the way it is. That's it. Just
Accepting
pray to
is
God.
accepting is one thing.
Yeah.
It's all right, like them teaching kids about they, he, she,
Yeah, my
them.
sister's on that.
I feel like it's kind of confusing, bro. Like I feel like kids have enough shit to be confused about at that age to like kind of be hitting them with that. It's just like I think that opens up a lot of questions that maybe for a parent like me would be difficult to answer. Like let's say now my son wants to turn around now and be like, Dad, like I don't want to identify as he, I'm they or him or like she or like how do I as maybe somebody who hasn't gone through the proper training of how to handle that, like how do I
I guess we
You
all
feel me?
have
Like,
to-
that's
you
where
have
I draw.
kids.
That's where I draw
What
right
you say
to
about that, Polo?
Man, that's a long conversation.
He's like next
But
podcast.
honestly, it's this day life, bro. I would just, tell them my opinion, but all in all, it's still your kid.
Exactly.
So you gotta support them. That support is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad, well, he's a deadbeat, but he didn't support half of the shit I tried to do. So I don't want to do that to my sons. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I have 3 of them, so whatever they want to do. Like, listen, if I don't like it, I'll tell you I don't like it, but it's your life. You can't live the life for your kid. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let them do what they're gonna do. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta support them. Unconditionally. That's my opinion.
I 1000% agree. That's what life is about.
Anyway, but before we get out of here, so Qvest, so what's the price points on like this and this thing right here?
So I believe the ashtrays are gonna be going for like 30, 35. The tote bags I don't have a price on yet because honestly we literally just finished the mock-up sample of it. So it's the bag, the same material is gonna be a denim jacket and the pants. So it's a full thing.
Okay.
Can I take a look at the bag?
Yeah, go ahead. Free.
With your water.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're gonna conceal. You're gonna show the books that are over here. There you go.
I got that client outside the studio right now.
Oh,
yeah, they calling me.
It's only be there soon.
So
No, I told you I'll open it from my phone. I'll finish up.
This is that's a nice.
Where was this made?
I gotta talk to my brother and let you know all about all of that. But he's sourcing the materials, printing to get he mocked up the design, sent it out to get the material made. He has his partner that does it with him does cut and sew, so they get the material, they chop it up, cut it.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's like a sublimated print. It's not screen print. It's sublimated. So it's like probably direct to garment that they used. Yeah. But it doesn't look blown out, which like a lot of times with like a direct to garment, it'll look blown out just by the nature of the machine. This is really nice. Congratulations.
Sure. Honestly, like I said, I'll hook you guys in. You'll see in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, when we drop the full suit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, I'll buy a jacket off.
No, bro, I'm telling you, it's gonna be heat, bro. I'm telling you, it's heat.
I like that it's like heavy, because most tote bags are like light. I like the heavy on.
It reminds me a lot of his hat, the 5-panel right here.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so Qvest, where can they find you if you want to be found on the internet?
So when I want to be found,
you know what I'm saying? Because you're kind of like behind the scenes. So.
Facts. So as far as the studio is concerned, you can reach out to us at 58 Studios NYC. That is 58 Studios NYC on Instagram, or 58th and Fair, 58 TH and Fair. Mm-hmm. And my personal Instagram is Questin Tarantino, like Quentin, but Quest in Tarantino.
Mm-hmm. ThE, where can they find you?
DOND87 on every platform you're out there with, and King Midas NYC, KINGMIDAS NYC for any fly jewelry and gold, any other services.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're coming up to Mr. GK. This is always interesting.
So, I don't really have much to say. No, like I don't want to say something completely like polarizing. Out of like respect for our guests, like he has like some shit going,
right.
So I'm gonna just like let him off the hook.
You should say the Rockefeller thing. Why don't you say the Rockefeller thing?
What about what?
What you and him was talking about before the show ends.
Oh no, we can talk about that some other time, but not this week.
The Rock is here. The Rock is here.
Bling blah.
Anyway, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, the sUpEr on mostly every podcast provider. We're on there. We're on YouTube. We're even on Audible, which I found out the other day. So we're everywhere. We also have a Patreon. Sign up for the Patreon. You get the episodes early. You can get exclusive merchandise, and all my unboxings go to Patreon. So that's the only way you can see them now. Qvest, thank you for coming through.
Man, thank you for having me. This was dope.
This was awesome. We're gonna have you on, again.
See my line booming.
Blowing up.
I gotta get the studio
calling.
popping. Y'all excuse me.
Do you want to bet on the Futura case?
Do you want
to put money up on it?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bet you no real money. I'll bet you like $5.
All right, we'll talk about it off camera.
Okay. He trying to, but anyway.
I'm trying to make money.
We'll be back next week with another episode 19. It'll be July 4th. So hopefully everybody wears their patriotic colors.
Oh, we got some USA shit.
We can do some theme stuff, but anyway, because we're not patriotic, so we don't give a damn. Anyway,
what kind of weird that's red, white, and blue? Ooh, I know.
See y'all next weekend. This is sUpEr Podcast. Ciao.
BX. So I gotta come fly.